Hey guys, what's up? Green Machine Sam back with another video, and today we have another NBA 2K24 roster update guide. Now, of course, we're going to go over a couple things. Now, I have not gotten the latest roster update done yet. I do have to add Lori marketing and extension. I'm just going to get that out of the way. This is for current gen. I call it current gen because it's been out for 4 years now. It's for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. At least I think it's cross-platform, so you should be able to go download it if you need it. Now, of course, if you don't like my roster, you don't have to download it. It's as simple as that. I keep all the ratings the same from 2K24, and then once 2K25 ratings do drop, I'll end up updating the ratings up to that, as well as getting the badges moved up correctly or moved down in certain situations. But outside of the normal roster, everything will stay the same. You'll still have all the custom teams that I've added as well. Depending on what happens with the Olympics and stuff, some of those teams might get moved off or to different parts of the game. I don't know yet. It's going to be a whole different situation. I understand some people do like playing with the teams and stuff like that. If you want a good Olympics scenario, I'd suggest checking out Mr. Joseph. I think he did an excellent job on his Olympic scenario. Go check his out. I really did like it. I haven't played it, but it looks very thorough and detailed. But let's get into things and let's get into the roster. So first and foremost, you will want to head over to the Features tab. So you'll start all the way up here at this My Career tab. You'll want to scroll down until Features is highlighted. It'll even show up on the main screen so you can see it a little bit better if for some reason you do have vision problems or whatever. Once you're in the Options and Features tab, you will want to head over to the Create Roster section. NBA Modern Current User Created, and you are going to want to push triangle on your controller or whatever your top middle button is on your right hand side, and go to search by online ID. Green Machine Sam is the name. I will say, I should wait for this. So if you do need a little bit more help, Green Machine Sam will be showing up at the bottom below this text little text screen. You should be able to see it a little bit better. The three rosters you'll want to grab, or one of the three that you will want to grab, are the first three. So NBA 2K24 roster update, 2K24 draft and free agency, or NBA offseason. These will be live until, of course, until December 31st of 2025. So you do still have some time. Now, of course, I will be updating these through the next season, and then I will be updating them next offseason as well. That's what I always do. Every roster I do, they go until the servers are shut down. So these will be live until, 2K26 comes out, and even into the 2K26 cycle and stuff like that. So like I said, all the players here are going to be the correct overalls. Age and experience has been progressed, as well as I have added the rookies to the teams. Now, of course, the rookie overalls are dependent upon when they are drafted / if they are drafted. If they are undrafted, 66 overalls. If they're and then, of course, first round picks are normally in the 70s, and the second round picks are in the low 70s, the very low 70s, or in the high 60s. So as you guys can see here. And then, of course, a lot of the contracts that I do end up using is just what is reported. So if a player is reported at 2 years, $11 million, I give them 5.5 each year. And then I'll go look on Spot Track later and see if their contract has changed a little bit based on what they have available on their thing as well. So I do have a lot of the two-way guys here added as well. Now, of course, I do want to state that there are 4 teams currently with not enough players currently on their active roster. And what I mean by active roster is the two-way players do not count. So for a team like the 76ers, you can see that they have 16 players on their active roster, but 3 of them are on two-way deals. So if you go start on my eras, the Sixers, the Cavs, I think it's the Kings, and the Hornets do not have enough players. So they need a 14th guy. So you can go sign whoever you want. You can go grab, you can just go over to free agency. You can grab a Cora, Horton Tucker, Fultz, Green, Matu. You can grab any of these guys and assign them to the teams if you don't want somebody random being added. Hell, you can come down here and just sort by overall and grab one of these guys that maybe you don't care about as much. So you can grab like Jay Scrub and throw him on the Sixers, and he'll have a normal contract. So, like I said, if a team does not have a 14th player on a regular contract, if you don't want them being auto-assigned, John Wall and fucking up their rotation, just add somebody that's a little bit lower of an overall, and they should be good to go. I think all the teams are at 13 guys. The Cavs might be the only problem there. I think that, yeah, they're at 13 guys. So each of the 4 teams, you will just have to add 1 guy. I know of only 1 team currently on my roster that has too many guys, and that should be, I think, do the Suns have too many as well? Let's go ahead and look. Yes, the Suns do have too many. They have actually, so they would have 19 guys. You're allowed to have 15. So you're technically allowed to have 15 regular contracts and 3 two-ways. They have 4 regular contracts and 3 two-ways. So they are over by 1 player. So one of the players will be auto-cut. One of the regular contracts will be auto-cut. So if you want to make sure that it's not one of the rookies or EJ, you could, cut Little. You could cut Okogie or Lee or whoever you don't like. You could cut them and remove them from the roster. Either way, once you go start on my eras, one of them will be cut, as well as the Portland Trail Blazers adding Devontae Graham. Now, if there's one of these players that isn't supposed to be on the team and you guys want to let me know, that would be greatly appreciated. I try to do my best about looking up players if I do or do not think that they are supposed to be on the team. The other team should have been the Wizards, but I did move Anthony Gill over to the G League team. So if you want him on the regular team, you will have to add him. He is over here with the Capital City Go-Go. So if you want to add him, because I know he got like 2 years, 4.9 or something like that, you can go ahead and add him. And then a lot of the two-way guys, a lot of the G League guys that are currently on teams right now are guys that I did see in Summer League, and I just added them to their correct teams. Now, of course, there's probably some players missing that just aren't in 2K that I don't feel like adding right now at this current moment. But if there's anybody that you want to add to any of these, you are more than welcome to. Of course, it will help you out once you start your My Eras. And now let's go over a lot of the custom teams. We're going to go in backwards order just because it'll make a little bit more sense and stuff like that. But let's get into things. So this is the 2008 Redeem team with a couple extra pieces because I did need to fill out the roster. So of course Elton Brand is here, and then of course Stoudemire and a couple others. Just there's that, and Shane Battier, just to really fill out the roster and get them enough guys to be able to go into anything that you want to go into. This is the 2018-19 Warriors, the team that was supposed to win, but ended up facing up against the Toronto Raptors and also got hurt. So you will see them, of course. I'm just pulling my list up so that I don't get any of these years wrong and stuff like that. And I can, give you the correct years and the correct teams and all that fun stuff. So we'll go ahead and pull this up. Next, we'll go to the T-Wolves, of course. They have the 2017-2018 T-Wolves. Now, a lot of these teams are going to be in the mid-teens. These aren't teams that were necessarily supposed to be super good. These are teams that I particularly liked. Maybe they have superstars that were trying to become superstars or whatever, or former superstars. They had a lot of fun pieces, and these are some of the teams that I picked out. Now, of course, if you want to play with the all-time teams, you just don't have to load my roster. You can keep the normal 2K roster loaded, and you can automatically get all the all-time teams back. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2017-18 OKC Thunder. The Spurs are the 15-16 Spurs with LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi, Timmy D, Tony Parker, Manu, and Danny Green. The Rockets are the 17-18 Rockets, the Rockets that took the Warriors to 7 games. So this is them. They do have a decent team. I am missing a couple people that I still need to add to that team, but still a relatively good squad. The Toronto Raptors are the Team Canada Olympics. They recently, I think, got eliminated maybe with a couple extra pieces, of course. Miller, Brissett, and Wiggins, I did end up lowering their overalls. Anybody that is a 70 didn't make the team or was cut or left early, so those guys won't be playing as much. And then everybody else is at least a 73 and above. So some players did get a little bit boost in overall just to make them a little bit more playable. The Detroit Pistons is, of course, the 92 Dream Team. And then some of these teams do have overalls based upon what they would have been, what they were in like 2K13 when they had the Dream Team and they had the 2012 Olympic teams. So there is that. The New Orleans Pelicans is the 17-18 Pelicans with Cousins, Davis, Drew, Mirotic, and Rondo, and Tony Allen. All these overalls should be more or less based upon the 2K that was out that year. And I did try to put all the players that were on the end of the season roster, the teams that, the players that were on the team for the playoffs and stuff. Those are the main objectives. And of course, we didn't And if there's any teams that you want, especially a team that is still currently open like the Nets, the Nuggets, the Pacers, go ahead and let me know down below. I'll try to make them if they are a good team or if I do end up liking them as well. If you want to scroll all the way over to the Lakers, this is the 2010-11 Lakers, so the year after they won their chip. This is the team that went up against the Dallas Mavericks and lost in 4. Then you scroll over to the Jazz. This is the bubble Jazz, the Jazz that were up 3-1 on the Nuggets. I think it was a pretty good team. Just couldn't finish the job, so they are here as well. Then you scroll all the way over to the Heat. This is the 17-18 Heat. This is the year that Wade got traded from the Cavs back to the Heat in his, I think, last hurrah. Pretty fun team. It's not a particularly high overall team. I just remember them having a lot of fun and being kind of weird and unique in a way. The Clippers are the team France. I should have most of the players that should be here, of course. If there's anybody that is missing or that you do want added that is supposed to be here, I'll go ahead and try to fix them, as well as jersey numbers and stuff like that should be fixed as well. The Boston Celtics are the 17-18 Cavs, the Cavs that lost 4-1 to the Bucks. This is like, I think, their final year together, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but it's a fun team. It looks fun. You have a lot of talent, a lot of depth. Hell, you know, you got 8 guys that can play. You have even Aaron Baines and Daniel Tice that can play. You have Greg Monroe. You have rookie Robert Williams. You know, you have a lot of talent on this team. I think they're a little fun. You have the 18 Cavs. This is the LeBron carry Cavs. This is the how the fuck are they here? Why is the East so bad Cavs? This is them. If you really want to play with them, you can. I just thought it was something fun and unique that I wanted to add. You have the 14-15 Bulls with Gasol, Butler, Gibson, Rose, Noah, Heinrich, Mirotic, McDermott. You know, this team was really fun, young, and exciting. You know, with Mirotic, McDermott, Butler, and then, of course, Rose looking like a former, you know, looking pretty decent, in my opinion, that year. This team looked really fun, just didn't quite put it all together. And then, of course, you do have the Milwaukee Bucks. This team is Team Australia. Of course, like I said, the 70 overalls are the guys that got kicked off the team / didn't end up making it or left early. The Philadelphia 76ers all-time team is the 2012 Olympic team. You do have a couple extra people. Griffin, who got hurt and left. Gordon, who was the last cut. Irving, who showed off in that one clip that always went, you know, viral and famous. Taj Gibson, Kawhi Leonard, and Gordon Hayward, all other guys that you could see in those training clips as well. Now we can get into a couple of the other teams. The 2000 to 2001 Nets, well, not Nets, 76ers are the Jimmy Butler Sixers. I thought this was a fun team. They have decent overalls. They have a lot of fun talent. I think this was a pretty cool team, so I did end up adding all of them back together, so they will show up here. Boom, that is a pretty fun team in my opinion. Then you have, we've already went over the Redeem Team, Dream Team, Team USA on all-time Philly, Team Canada, Team Australia, France, and then there are 2 more. This is the 2024 Team USA. Of course, you can see them here. All their overalls are just, you know, they're literally just going to be the 2K24 overalls. I'm sorry, I'm not changing them. They already are high enough. And then the 77, 76 Sixers are, of course, the select team that they played against. Cooper Flagg, I inflated a lot because, of course, he played very well against them. And, of course, one thing I do want to address real quick before we get out of here is the fact that players that do have retired jersey numbers do have them. So Jalen Williams, of course, and then DeAndre Jordan on the Nuggets, and of course Domantas Sabonis wearing number 11 on the Kings. They all have their retired jersey numbers and stuff like that. But those are all the custom teams. The team should be correct as well for real life. I did move a lot of positions just based upon what players are playing and how they're and where they're going to be expected to play. Like somebody like the Kings, I'm just going to state this as an example. They had Monk, Ellis, Herrera, and McLaughlin all at shooting guard. So they were like 4 deep. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make much sense because then they're not going to play as much. So I moved their primary positions. They can still play at those shooting guard positions. Not McLaughlin, Devin Carter. Sorry. So they had, 4 very good shooting guards. And it's like, well, one of them's not going to get a play. So I moved Herrera to small, I moved Devin Carter to point, and then when I do move them to those different positions, I don't keep their overall and I don't keep their ratings. I change their ratings to reflect what they're supposed to be at their normal position as well. And I've done that with a lot of teams. I've changed positions to kind of really help with rotations and stuff like that. So somewhere like the Knicks, where they have Jalen Brunson at point guard, it was like, okay, McBride and Payne are their backup point guards, but McBride's not going to get a whole ton of time because Jalen Brunson is a 94. So I'm like, well, where it makes more sense? Shooting guard makes more sense. Put him behind Dante DiVincenzo. Anube and Miles Bridges can play small forward. Josh Hart was already listed as a power forward. Just leave some of the guys there, move positions to really create good rotations and stuff for a lot of these teams. Coaches should be, for the most part, correct. If any coaches were added and I didn't see them, go ahead and let me know down below. I've tried to do my best in getting a lot of those guys moved to the correct teams. Of course, I can't do just assistant coach. You have to assign them to certain coaching staffs and stuff like that. If there's somebody missing, try to find them in-game first before you can let me know. Be like, hey, this guy's supposed to be here, or this guy's supposed to be there, or hey, this guy's missing from the team. And I'll try to look for them. But if they're not a head coach or an assistant head coach or somebody that's probably going to be a head coach in the next few years, it probably doesn't matter as much, but I will try to fix them as well. So most of them should have at least the correct head coach and assistant head coach for the most part, of course. Some teams don't have an assistant head coach. They just have three assistant coaches. So I tried my best as to pick out somebody that I would probably want as the assistant head coach or who had the best stats or whatever. But most of the coaching staffs should be relatively correct. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the roster, whether it's a contract, whether it's a player missing, go ahead and let me know down below. Like I said, some of the guys did get moved to the G League teams because I did run out of two-way spots, or if they only signed an exhibition 10-day deal, whatever, stuff like that. I did end up adding them to the G League as best as possible. Go check out some of the custom teams. I think I did a pretty good job. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about those, you can definitely leave those down below as well. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the roster, and I'll continue to update as things happen. I will get the Lori marketing extension done and anything else that has happened for today before you guys will even see this video. So the Lori marketing extension will be good to go by the time you download it and stuff like that. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.